Okay.
By the way, before we start, I'm representing for Black History Month with a shirt with Thomas Sankara on it. You should look him up if you haven't. He's a really awesome character from Black history, specifically Africa. Very interesting guy. You should look him up.
Okay.
If you like Black Panther, you're gonna like Thomas Sankara.
Oh, okay. All right, Adam. But let's go into our spoilers. So do we have to warn it one more time? This is the spoiler section. Spoiler section. So if you have not seen Black Panther, stop watching the video. Either go see Black Panther or save this video and then come back to it whenever you're done. Because yes,
or just like I said in the time tag, just skip it.
Well, this is the last segment of the day anyway, so I mean it's not.
We'll just skip to the part where we say goodbye.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yes, so just fair warning, this is spoiler heavy. So yeah. Okay, Adam, we'll start from the beginning of the film and we'll kind of work our way towards the end, I guess, if we want to do that. God, the beginning scene where he's jumping out of that plane and just taking out those guys, where he first meets Nakia, is great.
Which it seems like she's on some kind of mission to save women from being enslaved, sex slaves or something.
Sex slave, that's what it seems.
They don't really say that, but it's implied. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
they go through that. That's a great scene, and this is one of the ones I want to talk about because whenever you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned it on the podcast or if you mentioned it to me personally, but you were like, I heard something about Black Panther that I'm kind of worried about, that they might kind of sugarcoat over, and then I went and saw it and I was like, oh, this is what he's talking about, and they completely don't. So what was your issue?
They do a little bit, but not as bad as I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, what was your issue originally?
So just historically, the CIA and the FBI in general have not been very friendly to the black community, both at home and internationally, and I was worried that they were going to try and exactly what you said, sugarcoat the shit out of the CIA's relationship to, just the international African community. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they did a tiny bit, but not as bad as I expected.
Yeah.
Not as bad as I expected.
Because they have this whole entire scene where they go into this casino, and
it's very clear that the CIA is there at this casino to do something kind of shady.
Well, I mean, we're in spoilers. I mean, you can just talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're looking to buy stolen resources from an African nation.
Yeah.
Which is something that they do all the time in real life.
Yeah, and so Andy Serkis's Claw comes in with this vibranium that he stole with Michael B. Jordan in this museum. Mm-hmm. And, I was sitting there, I was like, wow, they don't sugarcoat the fact that the CIA is totally doing shady shit, buying stolen
resources.
Yeah.
And in fact, they also call him a colonizer at one point, which I thought was a funny line that a couple people in the theater laughed at, so they must have picked up on it. But
yeah,
most people were just went right through it, completely dead silent, like it was just part of the film.
Yeah, because they keep calling that there's only 2 white people in this film, which are Andy Serkis. We were right. It's just Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman.
Yeah, I think there's a couple extras that might be European,
maybe,
that look like maybe Italian or Greek or something like that.
On those lines.
But they're henchmen characters with no lines.
I just thought that Claw was, you could have really overdone Claw and made him really hokey and hammy,
and they didn't. He's
fun but believably fun.
Oh my god, the mixtape line is probably one of the most funny parts of the film.
He talking about his mixtape on SoundCloud.
Yeah. Oh my god. And Martin Freeman's character's like, no, I'm not interested in your mixtape.
I thought that was so fucking weird when that happened.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it at all. And it was so funny.
Just Claw and Killmonger, whenever they have their screen time together, while, let's be fair, I mean, I thought it was kind of sad that they killed off his cool character as Claw.
I don't know what they're going to do about that.
Yeah.
It feels like they could have developed that character a little bit more. I'm not, pissed that
I thought they could have made him, I thought they could have made him, a Joker-esque character where he's just constantly causing problems. Yeah. And, he doesn't die, ever. Yeah. I mean, the dude got his arm cut off, and then he gets it replaced with a, Wakandan technology, but then he just ends up getting killed by Killmonger. I just thought that was kind of odd. Yeah. But that first scene with Killmonger in the museum with that woman,
Yeah, oh my god,
so cool. What's
Yeah.
this? What's this piece? Oh, that's from there. What's this piece? Oh, that's from this place. What's this? Oh, this was from there. Nah,
No, it's not.
no, that's from Wakanda. That's clearly stolen from a tribe. And she's like, excuse me? And then, like, Michael...
Yeah, he talks about, how, like, because it's a British museum.
Yeah.
So he's talking about how the British historically went into, Northern Africa and other parts of Africa and basically just stole shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it talks about some shit that nobody talks about, which I'm really glad that it does. That's what I was hoping that it was going to talk about. It didn't, but again, just like I was worried it was going to sugarcoat a lot, and it didn't. I was hoping it was going to talk about this stuff more, and it did, but not as much as I would have liked. But it was still good enough.
I thought that the social commentary in it was really good, but it wasn't like shoved down your throat.
Yeah.
Because
there wasn't too much of it. And
no, because there's even a point in the film where they talk about letting refugees into the country, and one of the guys looks at T'Challa and it's like, if you invite refugees, you invite their problems, which is exactly what this country is currently facing right now.
Yeah.
And
it's not like
it seems like it's been kind of pushed down recently with refugees, but refugees is still an issue that people talk about in this country.
You got to think about our military actions globally.
Yeah.
Create those refugees, and what they're saying isn't that refugees are bad and that they're only going to bring problems. It's, are we prepared to deal with the problems?
Yes, exactly. We're well equipped to take care of ourselves. Can we take care of more?
Yes, and that's the question that they raise. It's not a question of this is objectively bad. This is a problem that we have to deal with in some way, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's done responsibly. It's maybe not exactly the position I would have taken, but I think it was done responsibly.
Yes. Let's see, what else is there that's let's go into the thing that you mentioned in the non-spoiler review about your problem with the film. What was your problem with the film, with this like old meme you were talking about?
Oh, the fucking sandal joke.
Oh, you didn't like this?
What are those?
I thought that was so funny.
That's an old meme.
I know it's an old meme, but I thought it really established that Suri is not like a character that needs to be taken like seriously. Like she's a young little girl.
Well, yeah, she's 16 in the film. I think the character's 16.
Yeah.
So like it would make sense that she knows about memes, but a
what
meme
are
that
those?
old.
What are those?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I thought it was really great because she was just being dead serious, and then she drops the what are those? Yeah, it's a little dated, but I mean, I still thought it was funny, and I thought it kind of showed that this girl is like kind of younger, and
like
she's not as serious.
She might be smarter than Tony Stark.
They say she is smarter than Tony Stark.
That's what I'm saying. She might be smarter than Tony Stark and the head of this nation's entire science development, but she's still 16.
Yeah,
she's still a kid, and she still like lives the life of kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, they did her character exceptionally well. I think the only character which I really didn't feel any connection to was probably Angela Bassett's character. She just felt like she was there. Like,
Angela Bassett.
She was the former queen.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I kind of agree.
Her performance was not, like...
It's like they didn't have a real good point for her to be there, except
she was
except
there,
when after the whole Killmonger fight scene. Like, I kind of felt like... Yeah, I kind of was sitting there. I was like, she could have been a lot better.
Like, the movie would have worked had her character not even been there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that she was bad.
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't
more
bad.
Just, I'm like, oh yeah, they really didn't have a lot for her to do as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I don't feel that way about any of the other characters. Oh, I mean, again, Forrest Whitaker being one of my favorite actors of all time, and just being used very sparsely.
Yeah,
as he seems to do a lot these days.
It seems like Forrest Whitaker is becoming the new Sean Bean of
he just shows
acting.
up and dies.
Yeah, he just shows up for a little bit, says a couple lines, and then gets killed. And it's like, he was great for his small little bit. Like, I was like totally believing him. You could just see the sadness whenever you see when he meets up with T'Challa again for the first time, and he's just like, I'm so sorry to hear about... I think the father's name isn't it T'Chaka?
T'Chaka, yeah, it was T'Chaka was the original king,
Yeah, like you could just see in his face that he's just sad. And...
Because it's fucking Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, because Forrest Whitaker can act out of any situation, and just his facial expressions. Just I don't know why. I think it's because Forrest Whitaker always has a face that looks so like downtrodden and seen so much shit that whenever he shows emotion in any extreme, it really hits.
And just again, because we're focusing on Black Panther, and if you're interested in this film, other films you might be interested in, fucking the first time that Forrest Whitaker was like, I was sold on Forrest Whitaker was Ghost Dog.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever seen Ghost Dog?
No.
You need to fucking see it. I'm pretty sure I talked to you about this film
think
before.
you have. I mean, my first time I was experienced with Forrest Whitaker and actually like knowing, holy shit, this guy's amazing, was Last King of Scotland. I know that's later in his career, obviously, but Last King of Scotland is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to what did you think of? Obviously, Okoye was great.
Yeah,
she was just so much like what they could have done with any character that would like
is give them their own solo film and it might work.
Well, I'm not even talking about that, but like, okay, so when Okoye is loyal to the king, and then Killmonger beats him in the ritual combat. And they're like, all right. So they like everybody. What's Angela Bassett? Ramonda and Nakia.
Yeah.
Were like, so how are we gonna overthrow him? And she's like, I can't overthrow him. He is the king now.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be king, but he is the king. I am loyal to the throne. That's treasonous. Like, I love that, because if she would have been like, all right, let's take him out, I would have been like, that is completely against her character. She is Wakandan first. She is loyal to Wakanda, not the king at the time.
Well, they actually also established that like verbally later on, where she's fighting her lover.
Yeah. And she's like,
he's like, you'd really kill me. And she's like,
which, by the way, we forgot to mention, but
she doesn't
Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out is that character.
Yeah.
And he did for the small little bit that he was in there, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just like, would you kill me? Would you kill me?
I don't want to, but Wakanda first.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, she is the general of the military then.
Yeah.
Like, she runs it all. And so I thought that was like, she's like, I can't. Like, you could tell she was so, and that's how good of an actress she actually is, that she was like, you could see this torn where she's like, I want to. I don't want this guy as king. This guy is a horrible person. But he's the king. What can I do?
Yeah.
He won in ritual combat. And so that just was pretty great, because Killmonger, when he comes in, every scene he just steals it.
Yeah,
he is just...
I keep saying that nobody steals the movie, but you're right. Like, he
should have been in the movie longer, and it's such a shame that they decided they were going to kill his character off. Now, I'm not upset about it. I just kind of thought that, man, wouldn't it have been great to see him get imprisoned and break out and be even more pissed off than before? But I understand that when you drop the line of, I'd rather jump into the waters than be chained up, my ancestors knew that. I understand that, okay. He hit his end. He's not taking jail time over death.
Yeah. I think having him at any point become more villainous than he was would ruin his character.
Yeah.
I think he'd ruin it for me. Because like I said, up until the point where he's like choking his own citizens.
That was the one part where we were
that's
like,
where
okay.
All right, you lost me at this point. Like, up the whole point, like arming, guerrilla groups across the world to liberate the oppressed people. I'm like, this all, like, I can sympathize with this stuff. And then you start attacking your own citizens, and I'm like, you lost me.
Yeah, when you start choking them out, like,
yeah,
hey,
I'm like,
I told you to do something, you're going to do it.
Like, it could have been handled verbally. And I guess that's the problem, is like,
but that's when I realized, I was like, holy shit, this guy, I never thought for a second he was fucking around, but then I really was like, no way, he's
definitely not.
He would kill you. He's not loyal to Wakanda. He's loyal to...
He's loyal to a global cause.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about Wakanda.
Super respectable up until the point where he just doesn't handle that situation responsibly.
Well, no, because he's not fit to be a king. He's not fit to be a ruler. He's a guerrilla fighter.
Yeah.
Who's just a buff fucking dude who just knocked the shit out of T'Challa. I mean,
that's another thing we got to talk about. Is like they're talking about, how he's coming there, and the CIA's like, yeah, we kind of trained him.
Yeah, they were like,
so they
yeah,
kind
T'Challa,
of addressed
T'Challa
the fact
is like, how does this man get created? And Martin Freeman's like, yeah, we did that. We kind of regret it, but yeah, we trained him to be a massive guerrilla tactician and fighter.
Yeah, and they address like the CIA's role and that kind of stuff in the world. Like this is such a good film.
It's handled very good. Now another issue I kind of like goofy. I thought the convenient plot twist of the vibranium train. I was like, really? Vibranium's unstable when transported too quickly, so they had to create a device that nullifies the vibranium. But it just so happens that it nullifies their suits too. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought that was kind of stupid because he needed that opportunity to be able to stab Killmonger.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the only reason that existed.
But you could have just had a normal. But you could have just had a normal vibranium knife, and it would have pierced the armor.
Yeah,
because the vibranium spear pierced the vibranium car.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And here's another reason why that doesn't make any sense. The vibranium came to Earth on a fucking
meteor. How did it not blow up the Earth?
Yeah, if it gets unstable with high speed, you're traveling through the vacuum of space and entering an atmosphere on fire.
But can I also throw this?
Speed.
I'm going to also throw this out the way. And I'm going to say a little bit of a bullshit I'm going to say is, okay, yes, the vibranium. I thought about this the whole time, too. I don't know why I didn't bring this up. But yes, this is kind of a major one. Vibranium came down on a giant asteroid and struck the Earth.
Embedded itself into the Earth's surface to the point where it was covered.
Yes, so hard that it did that. Okay, but and it created a surface large enough that a city could be built upon it. Correct?
Yes.
In Age of Ultron, his plan was to lift Sokovia off the ground into orbit and let it drop and hit the Earth, and it would kill like 75% of the population because of a meteor that big.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, wouldn't an asteroid of the hardest metal ever known to man?
Which it probably would have pierced the Earth and just kept going.
Wouldn't it have fucking destroyed the Earth? Like, unless you're gonna say that it like
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're gonna say that it's what killed the dinosaurs, that's the only thing I could possibly believe. If you wanted to suspend disbelief that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was vibranium, then I could maybe go for it. But you
can't even do that because the history of Wakanda existed before the meteor struck.
Did it?
Yeah, in the beginning of the film where they're talking about the history of Wakanda and like how the kingdom came together and all that shit. There was already tribes living there. So that means that there was already humans developed to the level where they had
technology to harvest it.
Yeah, and the technology to harvest that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an error that is a little missed up.
Again, suspension of disbelief. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as I said, we're just nitpicking at this point. We're just joking around, bullshitting. Because, I mean, this is a guy who walks around in a giant cat suit and fucks people up.
Yeah. Okay, let's also talk about the car chase scene really quick.
Yeah, how awesome is that car chase scene?
It's so fucking good. And I have to say that, like, for the most part in action movies, car chases bore the fuck out of me because it's just cars going and turning around corners and it's fucking dumb. It's
the sound that cars make when they turn corners?
In my head, they do. And they're just boring, and they're like all car chases are the same. And this car chase in this film is so fucking good, so good.
Oh, I loved it. It was so cool. I thought another cool feature that they threw in there that I thought like was really well handled, but I love the dream world he goes to whenever he's being given the Black Panther power back and he has to be buried in that red sand. I was like, wow, look at the fucking colors.
Yeah.
And here's what I thought was really cool. This is why I liked it so much. So when T'Challa gets put in his red sand and he goes into the spiritual Black Panther world, it's this purple African jungle type of thing. And the Black Panthers
like a savanna,
are all in the trees. And then his father comes down and he's talking to him. But then when Killmonger gets it. And then he goes back to the place where his father died and where he found him.
Yeah.
And that was like...
It's almost like an acknowledgement that he's not fit to be king.
Well, it's almost that, but I was almost taking it as... it's kind of hard to explain. With T'Challa, I think that he views it as this is the pure world. This is the pure afterlife, and this is all that I expect for what happened after I die. But for Killmonger, his view of like pureness went right before he lost his pureness. Do you get what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah.
So like he was just this pure innocent kid, and then when he goes in there and he finds his father with claw marks on it, that's when he lost. That's when Killmonger was born.
Yeah.
And then with T'Challa, when he goes into this mystical, that's when the Black Panther is born. Do you get what I'm kind of saying there?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a cool dynamic that he didn't go to that place. He's not really meant to rule it, but he also, his view of like pureness was before he was turned into this Killmonger, where he's going around killing everybody, leaving marks on him so that like he's like, all these people I killed to get to you. Yeah. Which that battle scene was great. I mean, the fight scene with him and M'Baku was really great. You really liked M'Baku. That's another thing I would have liked to see. Why is that tribe up in the mountains? Like, I know that they like disagreed, but why? Like, they don't really explain it very well.
They don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't really explain that well, but they do. They do a good job of making it look like that tribe is culturally different from the 4 other tribes that came together, like significantly.
Yes, they definitely are. They're the ones who are who I guess are viewed as savages.
Yeah,
they even make the joke that I will feed you to my children.
And then he laughs. And
he's like,
we're vegetarians.
We're vegetarians. But they don't wear like the nice clothes that each other tribe does.
Yeah,
I like that each tribe had its own like style.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
was really
that's the one thing I got to talk about is the weapon that tribe uses is actually an Iroquois Indian war club.
Oh, that big fucking club?
Yeah, with the ball on the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an African counterpart to that, but I know that's an Iroquois Indian war club. So that was pretty neat to see that, as...
Yeah.
I mean, so... but you could see the other tribes sort of have traditional African weaponry as opposed to that. And I don't know if there is an African counterpart to that type of war club. I assume that there might be. But it was just the design and everything down, to the ball being held by the hand. Like that was...
Yeah.
That's a very, very Iroquois thing. So that was neat. But like they do a good job of establishing that tribe is very culturally different from the other 4 tribes, which do have their own cultural differences in between them. They have the one where they have the dreadlocks that are wrapped.
Yeah, and then the other one has the disc. The disc. Then there's the what's his Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
His tribe is kind of just
like wrapped in like sort of sari type thing.
Yeah, and almost like farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not farmers. They're like
herders. They're involved in agriculture.
Yeah, exactly. The movie is just great. The more I think about it, the more it just was really fucking good.
Yeah, it was
I still
phenomenal.
can't say for 100% fact that it's definitely not my favorite for sure, because my favorite is still
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is still my favorite, but man, this movie was just fucking great. Like,
also,
I loved almost everything about it. Like, as I said, my only nitpicks were CGI and the fact that the last end scene...
We didn't talk about that. The weird CGI at the end, when he's like laying him down, and the arm just looks like it's moving weird. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice that. I'm more talking about when they're actually like fighting and they're in the vibranium cave.
See, I think because the CGI was pretty consistent there, it was okay. It was when they put them on, they're like on a real thing, like a set watching the sunset, and then there's like the CGI suits. They stand out way too much.
Yeah.
And that's when CGI shouldn't have been used.
Yeah, it seemed there are some parts where the CGI is just a little shoddy, but not. This isn't Justice League shoddy bad.
No.
You know, like and as I said,
I was
didn't,
joking earlier about the helicopter scene from
yeah,
1979.
Yeah, I actually didn't hate Justice League. I just was like, oh man, that CGI is really fucking bad.
I mean, I didn't see Justice League, but I know about the CGI. I've seen the CGI mustache.
It's nowhere near as bad as what Justice League's CGI issues were. Yeah. There was a lot more behind the scenes with Justice League that would cause that issue, but for the most part, Black Panther works 100%. Like the car chase scene, I was like, I mean, he's a big cat guy jumping up and down on cars and shit like that, going across buildings while a guy's shooting a laser cannon at him. I didn't see any problem with that CGI. I just
we just talk about the one part where he rips the fucking tire off the car.
Yeah,
that was so bad because he has the fucking vibranium claw thing, and he's basically like,
yeah,
just rips it off. I'm like, holy fuck! Oh, it's so good. It's such a good movie. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it's my favorite Marvel film of all time, but it's like one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy about. I mean, yeah, Black Panther turned out more than I expected.
I mean, it's breaking breaking records too.
Oh yeah, office. It's crushing. It's crushing the shit out of records. I mean, the fact that it has $192 million opening weekend. Now it had an extended one because
came out on Thursday.
And also I think because tomorrow's President's Day, it still kind of counts.
As a weekend, because it's an extended weekend.
Yeah. So it's on track to make about $192 million domestically, which makes it the 5th highest grossing opening domestic ever, which it only needs, I think, to go a little bit more to beat, I think it's 195 that Deadpool has, but it's on track to beat Deadpool's opening Origins record. But Look, I don't want to sit here and say that every single time, because it does feel like I shit on it a lot. I'm just not happy with the DCEU, but I'm not unhappy with DC and Warner Brothers as a company. I still want them to make good films. Like,
well, Warner Brothers also put loot boxes into Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about loot boxes, but like, I'm just not happy with the recent run-in with the DC thing. So I'm not trying to sit here and say that I just fucking hate DC or anything like that.
No, you definitely don't.
I'm just not very happy.
If anybody on this show dislikes DC just because they're DC, it's probably more me than you.
Yeah, it's not that.
And even me, there are definitely DC characters that I love.
Yeah, but I just want to say that Black Panther will make in 5 days what Justice League had made in 13 weeks. If that just puts it into perspective about the success that Marvel films have just been fucking having, and also just the fact that if people don't see that DC films need to reboot after Justice League, I mean, that's a problem. Like, Justice League shouldn't be making what Black Panther made in 5 days.
5 days, yeah.
You know? So, congratulations, Black Panther, for just the tremendous success and for actually making a good movie. Like, this is one of those ones where we were talking earlier or last week, or a couple weeks ago, about how
important
it is important, but it wouldn't have mattered if the movie wasn't good. It wouldn't have made any difference because, you can put out, you could, like, this, I'm not saying this is anything like it, but I mean, you could have imagine if Catwoman had been a massive critical success. You would have had the first, like, female-led black, like, comic book character.
Yeah.
But the movie's a piece of shit and one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
So its cultural importance just went out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Black Panther doesn't do that because Black Panther is one of the best fucking movies of the last, like, year.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even some people are saying it's one of the best movies that they've ever seen. Like, I don't want to go that far, but it is one of the top Marvel movies. It's definitely one of the top I've seen within the last year. So, I mean, it's just congratulations is all I got to say.
Yeah.
Like, we're so happy about it. Real quick, before we kind of close out this thing, we do want to say that the trolls and the losers who have been like
haven't been very successful.
I think the current audience rating for Black Panther is only 75%, which if you go look at that compared to like the Star Wars, it clearly didn't have an effect because either people were hearing about it and decided to post their own positive and it's counteracting all the bad. Because,
or they couldn't get that many people behind it.
Yeah, because currently on IMDb, it's like both rated a 9, and then its audiences are about 7.8 and 75%. So it's kind of about that.
That's kind of accurate. When you think about aggressive white supremacists, like they're
or just
it's
a
very small group of people. They're just very loud.
Yes, exactly. So, but we just wanted to say that thank God that it's not being really affected to a point where it's like just embarrassingly noticeable. Yeah. So we just wanted to throw that in there as well too. But so that is our spoiler review of Black Panther. I'll release both of these videos separate so that people can view both of them. Yeah. But if you're watching this as a separate video, then go and check out our non-spoiler. Pretty much talk about more of the highlights that we really liked and maybe a couple more of the issues we had with it. But that's pretty much closes out the show for today, though, Adam.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you have anything else you want to add before we start kind of finishing out this episode?
No, I mean, I think we did good. I mean, I had a great time today. I went and saw a fucking awesome movie. So
yeah. Okay, Adam, where can people reach us?
Facebook.com/GTAS podcast.
Okay.
And same thing on Twitter. Twitter.com/GTAS podcast.
Okay. And obviously our YouTube channel, you're probably watching it because we don't have our iTunes channel up yet. We are trying so goddamn hard to work on that. Like, I just am having a difficult time finding a website that can host our podcast and give me enough space so that I can upload these to you, because we do 4 shows a month, and that's a good amount of bandwidth that we use. I mean, our podcasts are usually about over 100 megabytes, and most offer only about 50.
Audio only.
Yeah,
about
audio
107
only.
megabytes. So either we gotta compress the shit out of them, or
we're working on it. Trust me, though.
We'll figure it out.
We'll have and obviously I've said it. We'll have an announcement video. I'll do a bunch of promotion whenever we're finally on iTunes. But once again, thank you once again.
Oh, we should also probably let people know that I'm gonna watch the what is it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Out of the Shadows. Is that the one that?
Oh, the show?
Yeah, the show from Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah.
One. Not the new one.
No, yeah, you're going to just watch just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's what it's called?
Yeah. It's just 2012
I'm going to watch, because I saw somebody left a comment like, Adam really needs to watch that series. And me and Bobby made a deal.
I said I would watch One Piece if he watches the TMNT show.
Yeah. So as soon as I'm caught up to One Piece, I think I'm only like 20 episodes away from being completely caught up. Yeah. I'm going to start TMNT.
Cool. But once again, I'd still like to thank you for the support that we've been getting the last week or so. It's mostly been on our Black Panther topic, but no, I mean, just the nice comments we've been getting, the support. People have been liking our stuff on Twitter. Like, thank you so much. Like, really, it really touches me that anyone would even give a shit about a show called Guys Talking About Shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we worked on this show for about 2 years, and we just pretty much were doing it just for fun and bullshitting around, and we didn't really get a lot of comments or anything like that, and then we decided to bring it back. And now that we're having I love talking with people on the comment section. Mostly everybody who comments, I try to comment them back as soon as I can.
As long as there's a response is necessary.
Yeah.
We respond.
Yeah.
We've been telling you that for a while, and I'm glad that you guys finally caught on to it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, everyone's just been being so nice, and just thank you so much. It means so much to me. I mean, this show is just it's called Guys Talking About Shit.
It's a hobby. It's a hobby, really.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying our content, if even one person enjoys our content, that's enough. It's enough for me.
Yeah.
So, thank you again, everybody, for listening. And until next time, farewell.